Yeah.
Let's just have a quick roll call. We've got Chalampu, we've got Eric, we've got Prof. Wang, Lucian, and Lochin. So we have the call has been achieved. Do we have anyone in the meeting room? No? Okay. We're supposed to get Sohani and Jared also. Okay. Can we start the meeting, Prof. Wang? Would you like to have a few words? Prof. Wang? Would you like to say a few words before we start off the meeting?
Okay, so hello everybody, very nice to see you again. I think this is the last time I attend APAN meeting. So, I think at the end of this meeting, I will show a gift I left for APAN. So, currently, just keep it secret. Let's begin.
Right. Okay. We got a confirmation of the previous minutes. We don't have any action items. Hello, Shimazu-san.
Sorry.
Okay, this was the previous minutes. And we've got Marcus's contract signed. There was a resolution. Right. So one of the resolutions from the last minutes was the board resolved the BA admin pin reset, and we finalized Marcus's contract, and we've got that signed. We went through the draft payment framework, which is also been approved. And in terms of any other business, we're still following up with Laos and Mongolia. I believe they are here as well, so we're going to try to catch all of them. So can we have a confirmation of the previous minutes? Right, okay. So if there are no issues raised, we hereby confirm the number 85 board minutes and the record of reservations of the board done via email. On the 23rd of June, an email was sent out to the board for Marcus's contract, and also the draft to agree to adopt the draft payment framework. So they've been resolved. The board resolves that Marcus's contract is accepted and signed by Prof. Wang, noting that the contract backdates to 1st October 2022. And the other one is the board resolves and agree to adopt the draft payment framework. In terms of matters arising from the minutes not otherwise included in this agenda, there's none. We will go ahead as when we presented during the meeting in Nepal. We agreed that we will do a quarterly report to the board. So on the financial and activity report, Sean will present it. That is, let's see whether this works. Slideshow.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon. Yeah, so as we mentioned, we're preparing a quarterly report as well as what we've agreed to report. So this is the first quarterly report with cash flow summary will be back from April to June 2023. As you can see, we have three separate fund accounts, which is the USD, Hong Kong dollars, and euros account. And you see the balance being balanced, and the following outflows, which comprises of project expenditure, which we will fund on behalf of the project. This is the files in the project. Subsequently, our payment on behalf, this occurs when we hold the funds that come in from the registration fees. And on behalf of the LOC, and we make the payments to either the vendors or any third parties that the purpose is to do so. Subsequently, we have the fellowship for APAN 55. Our usual bookkeeping and auditing fees came up this year, which is $14,200. It's equivalent to about USD 1,007. Operational support, community engagement. This was done when we had a try attend our event in Singapore. The return of the project fund, which is this was the IC project by Singapore. Registration fee support. This was agreed on the board. We were subsidizing 7,500 USD. And we had charges, and we had a few membership fees coming in. So as mentioned just now, this is the project expenditure for the file sender at the moment. We've made the following payouts, and we have a current balance of 38,000 euros. And this is the payment on behalf that we have made for Nepal, using the fees that we received through HUBA. And one of it is basically the members for the event, and also the TNCC's membership fee. Okay, so upcoming transactions that we're looking forward to is basically the transfer 56 fees from APAN 56 to LON, which we have about $48,000. The annual return is coming up, that is in line with our audit functions, which is $5,000. And we're receiving the special grant soon of $5,000 that will be in our account, and that to purchase some equipment to be used for APAN 57. This is the report on our activity as APAN SEC. We circulated the newsletter in July. We've done program updates for 56. Second program meeting notes has a fellowship management, that includes vetting and arranging the fellowship program. Payment management and reporting, institution fees. So this again comes back to line where we receive the fees and we keep track of it, and at the same time make payments. Audit preparation and finalization, which is ongoing and hoping finalized very soon. Building documents, which we always hunt the directors with for their signatures. And the member interview that we recently concluded, and we spoke to the members and got feedback. Upcoming activities that we foresee at this moment, we're doing the newsletter for the next one, 005. We have signed until APAN 56. So for APAN 57, we'll be looking for a new conference management platform. So we'll be performing a new due diligence on that to see whether it's HUBA or anyone else. And the coordination, as mentioned this time, was through the APAN Foundation Special Grant. So we will be performing the coordination with Jamie, also with TechCom, and as well as the LOC. In line with that, we will also start preparing the management book, which will include these meetings, including the payment management. For LOC, we've got to start having some guidelines so that there's no discrepancies, including the house rules. Following with our fellowship program, we'll be having the APAN fellowship alumni draft proposal. We're looking through for a through of the APAN fellowship program, getting some previous fellows to assist us in certain jobs, and planning a coordination of working group activities. So this is start engaging the working groups more actively and probably coordinate certain events. That's all. Thank you. Is there any questions? Thanks.
Thank you, Sean. Back to our minutes. Okay. So we have the council meeting coming up on Wednesday. So we had a call, so the AGM preparations were there. We've called for election we have got 6 directors whose tenure is ending, and we have received 7 nominations. The deadline was last Friday, so we have received 7 nominations from the existing 1 plus 1. And next will be the get the board to resolve that the audited financial statements for the year 2022 is accepted and approved to be presented at council members at APAN 56. Yes. Wrong link, maybe. Okay, so all okay? Good. All right. Okay, so the board resolves that the AFS for financial year 2022 is accepted and approved to be presented at council members at APAN 56. Next on, we recommend the appointment of the Hong Kong auditor for 2023 to the members. So the board resolves to recommend appointment of the Hong Kong auditor for 2023 to the council members at APAN 56, which is Gateway GRC, Gateway Resource Limited. So they've been the same one since last year. So do I get a resolution on this? And we're happy with them. Yeah, we're happy for now. Yes. A bit of delay, but yeah, so far okay. Yeah, that's why he's following up. Perhaps he's got the wrong link. Okay. So that's for the AGM preparation. Now, for the council meeting preparation, we had interviewed about 17 economists. We have not got Pacific Wave, who's an associate member, and Indonesia, who's also an associate member. So we're going to catch hold of Basuki, who's here for APAN 56. But the rest of the members we have interviewed. I think I've interviewed Chalampu, Eric, Shimazu-san, Busyong, and Nepal was Rajan. Prof. Wang as well. So the results have been very positive, right? Let me just take you through this. Okay, so just a quick recap. What we did was we spoke to them about their end run. We wanted to understand how they function in terms of their stakeholders, in terms of their funding, in terms of activities, their services, their infrastructure. But what most importantly was, what we wanted to know was how APAN can improve to help APAN members. What kind of activities that they're looking for, or areas that they need help. So we have clustered them into these categories. We have the capacity building and learning, where a lot of the members wanted trainings in the area of network security and network deployment, right? So there are some underdeveloping countries, developing countries who require such trainings, and we have members like Singapore and Australia and India who is willing to offer, right? So whether it's virtual or whether it's regional or doing APAN meetings, whichever that works best for them. And then we have access management and collaborations. Actually, there was something else, right? But this is more of it's more of coordination and collaboration. So coordination in terms of members wanted us to compile success stories, like how GM has the in-the-field stories. They wanted us to demonstrate or put into like a newsletter or a magazine form to showcase success stories of APAN members. So So if it's in the field stories or something that requires recognition, we wanted us to showcase. And then to foster more task force, because at this point of time, we only have one, identity access management. So to create more task force and to actually do a call to members to create task force, because they understand that we can, but they have no idea how. So when we spoke to some of them, they said perhaps APAN could do a call to say that this is how you start a task force. And then, of course, most of them wanted us to play a more active coordinator role, and then to also contribute more actively in terms of trainings and to have sponsorships, like to have sponsor members that will sponsor APAN at every APAN meeting that we have, like, either one or two sponsors, or to even have like industry partners that sponsors students to attend APAN meetings within the region. Let's say now upcoming APAN 57 in Thailand, to have an industry partner to maybe sponsor 10 students from Thailand to attend APAN 57. It doesn't have to be from a different country, but if the industry partner could sponsor students from the region, and then to have these are a bit more specific and more tech involved, like to be a focal point for softwares like plagiarism. So we wanted APAN to either get its members to either develop or to coordinate, or to even subscription on their behalf and share the licenses across. But this, of course, requires long term and requires a bit more study on this. And then to also have access to digital libraries and to have access to research journals. Another suggestion was also blockchain-based digital certificates. And then communication and outreach. They're happy with the newsletter, thanks to Prof. Wong's team. But they wanted it to also have a bit more content, like industry-friendly magazine, virtual, not a printed copy, but to have more content, like, for instance, our fellows who are presenting, most of them are academic, but if it could just be like an industry kind of article, which is understandable by, let's say, even a layman and not so academic. They wanted something like that. And then to also revive the marketing and communications. Because a lot of NRAN members are having issues retaining, let's say, retaining knowledge and retaining members, or to actually get them interested to participate in NRAN activities. So they wanted APAN to revive the marketing and communication session again. And then next we have services like ORCID identifiers. They wanted us to also have like a companion, either 2 months on a yearly of what events are doing. So we also need to look into that in terms of what's the duration, because there's not much updates on a yearly basis with NRANs, but maybe 2 years once or 3 years once, then there can be more content. Again, some of the comments by working groups where they need to cross-pollinate, like some of our working groups work on groups like agriculture, disaster mitigation, with common interests, like IoT, cloud. And IoT can be applied everywhere. So it doesn't just have to be IoT, but IoT can be in agriculture, can be in disaster mitigation. So they wanted to have more cross-pollination, to be more homogeneous. And they also requested for HPC and AI working group, because they said it's high time that APAN also looks at creating more working groups than just the existing ones. Also, we noticed that working groups have really been active during APAN meetings. There are discussions, activities among themselves, meetings, but we are not aware, members are not aware. So we can get some of the working group heads either, so we can get the working groups to be more active in terms of broadcasting. Let's say they want to have a webinar, a half-a-day webinar, and they tell APAN to maybe create a virtual room, set out a participation call, and we help them coordinate. So it could be an activity that is done in between the APAN meetings, or we can even have like smaller workshops leading on to the main APAN meeting. So they wanted to have more working group investments. And then we also wanted to meetings to not just to be just not tech-based, but to have more impact. So this time around, APAN 56, we've got the NREN Leaders Forum, we've got the Industry Forum, we've got emerging NRENs. So we have some good topics going on at APAN 56. So if we could follow through with every APAN, then there will always be a continuity with these sessions. So that is in terms of the feedback from the members. So we will present this. The whole idea of this member survey was to, number one was for me to personally meet the members, and to see whether there was any need for us to improve APAN. So there were very complete results from them. And with these activities, we have planned for 2024. We have also planned a budget for 2024, which we presented in the last board meeting. With this, we will present it at the council meeting, and we have already indicated to the members that there will be a slight increase in membership fee. So in order for us to increase the membership fee, we will also have to give back to the community, like, okay, we are doing all this because this has also been your recommendation, and we hope to have a meeting with the budget and fee subcommittee on the increase, and then hopefully they're able to implement it. We are able to implement it from 2025 onwards for 3 years. Okay, so just a quick on the activities planned. Okay, so like Sean mentioned, the draft proposal for the APAN Fellow alumni, we're going to have like a very informal meeting with them tomorrow, Sean? With the fellows, yeah, that's tomorrow. Just to start off, to see what they want to do with APAN. We will, of course, on voluntary basis, they have come up and said that for APAN. That is one. And then we want to really start talking to our own partners like APAN, ISOC, and a few more to see how we can improve on capacity building. And then we also need to re-establish our MOUs. Most of the MOUs have expired. And sorry, we don't even know some of the partners whether they still exist. So we will have to re-establish, sign more MOUs. And then working groups also to be more active. We've got Rachai and Marumasan, telemedicine, who actually went to Singapore to speak. So that's one. And then APAN communications to be more rampant, to be more frequent, and to have more content. So we wanted to see more content. We've got good feedback from the last newsletter. So if we can have more in-the-field stories, works that have been doing, so that is what among this one. To also have, we have also got requests that we need to have this more frequent engagements with the members. This one-to-one has been very useful for me, and also has been very useful for the SEC to, in terms of to collect what are the input that we need, right? And then we will also look into the content for APAN compendium. So that requires a bit of work. So we need to see what's the scope like and how we want to achieve this, right? And also APAN services for members is also a long-term project and definitely requires a cost. So these are the work plans, but we could also just start off with a proposal, because especially the long-term plans. And these will be presented at the council as well, of the membership restructure, right? So the last budget was tabled in 2020, the one that you see on the extreme left. 2023, that is the cost at 148. This also includes Marcus's salary and operational costs. For 2024, we're still okay. income from membership fee is 130. But we're going to increase a bit for the marketing and communications, something that's immediate, marketing communications, the community engagement and capacity building, and the proceedings and journals. And then in 2025, when we want to actually increase the membership fee, we are projecting a 15% increase, which is 150,000 from 130. Then we are full blown with the marketing and comms, which is 5,000. We are increasing in terms of capacity building and community engagement and the proceedings and journals. That might be when we also have the compendium coming at that time. So the cost is 145,000, and we're projecting for the increase of membership fee to be 150,000. So, so this is how we are looking at in terms of costs. Any questions on this? Yeah, let's proceed.
The
capacity building is not the network, but in terms of things like network security and network deployment. What is your idea? So this capacity building is like we get to, for instance, train with engineers, whether, let's say we do it in Thailand, we have a number of students that can run a workshop, or virtually.
And it's linked to the APAN service?
APAN services, we have not provided because some of the services will require a bit of study first. Like the directories, the access to journals, the active directories as well. In terms of services, we need to study first to see how feasible or how we can implement it to our members. Things that we're actually looking at supercomputing facilities might not require cost, because if we can tap on resources by those facilities that have HPC, then members can actually tap on the resources, which might not increase the cost yet.
I think we need to increase the membership fee. We need to explicitly preparing the why we need to increase the membership fee for the what. So yeah.
Comments? Can we have the slide back?
For the marketing and communication, do you have any plan in more details?
So this marketing and communication is more of in terms of the magazine work, or for stories like in the field and success stories, or for to run workshops on marketing and communication. Sometimes get someone to speak on marketing and communications might require a bit of a cost. So if we can subsidize the cost, so we can get like maybe we have 19 economists, let's say we'll get about even 10 to 15 economists come on board, perhaps we could subsidize something along that anyone?
Income from the membership fee, do you look at only for current membership and increase?
Yes.
I mean, plan to have more members, for example, industry or of other sectors?
Yes, we're also looking at individual membership and industry membership as well. So the budget and fee subcommittee will look into how much we will charge the individual members, or industry members might be in terms of sponsors, fixed sponsors. And we do have like so far 2 members who are also interested. So that cost, it's not included. Yeah. This is just with the existing one.
Another one is That's the 2000 USD we need to do more, I think, for the 2025 comparing the 2024. APAN has also have the balance.
Yes, we do.
And so could you use that balance for that answer to, or, yeah, if it means we already have a balance of something, so in the short term, we can cover the that is 2,000, 20,000 with the balance. Is any possible?
Yes, like balance. But it's also been, I think the last membership increase was in 2019, Marcus? 2019. So at 2019 meeting, it was supposed to be increased every 3 years. So it's been 6 years now that we have not. So,
so just to add, just in terms of Usman's question about the reserves. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, just in terms of Eric Usman's question about the reserves. So we have good reserves in the bank. We've got almost 3 years of operating reserve there. So if the fees go up, we can allow for some members not to go up straight away. So they can easily ramp up. When we had the big increase, 50% increase, we offered that to all the members, and surprisingly, nobody had a problem. But if they do have a problem this time around, we can allow for that and use the reserves. The other thing with the reserves is that we still have the APAN grant program, and we're not spending that at all. And I think that's something we should encourage more expenditure from, because there's so many opportunities that we might be missing out.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we've capped that at, the total budget of the grant is 10%.
10% of them.
And we capped the individual grants at 7.5 or 15K, depending on whether there's co-investment. So we might be able to be a bit more generous, if that's useful as well. So the reserves are useful, but we don't want to make a habit of spending them for recurring things. That's what I just wanted to add.
And are you going to present this slide during the yeah? So I would recommend or suggest that maybe for the first slide of the income from the membership fee, put in mind that the question I asked, this is not include and also maybe you may think about the new economies, like I don't know, some new investments participate in the APAN, maybe we should invite them to be the members for the members so that we can contribute something.
We were actually discussing to get them to come for the council meeting space and then see the kind of activities that we're going to do, because like I said, Laos and Mongolia Island, they're very putting interest. So we can get them to just join the council meeting this Wednesday, but actually be good as well.
Yeah, just be aware this small. They're not going to add a lot.
As well.
Yeah. Actually, you can look at the member from the Asian Connect. Actually, there are more members than what we are paid in the APAN.
Yes.
At least let's see how can we invite them. Yeah.
So approaching like find the right contact also. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Next on, we have the future meeting hosts. So APAN 57 is in Thailand from January 29th to February 2nd in Bangkok. Yeah. Okay. And then APAN 58, we have got interest from Hong Kong. So they will confirm in sometime around early September. They have a steering committee, then they're going to present it and they will confirm it in around September. And then APAN 59 is Japan, February 25, and then APAN 60, perhaps there's talks with Pakistan as well. So we're also discussing with them. And then APAN 61 is Bangladesh, February 2026. Yes, Musan.
Actually, yesterday I talked with Francis, and
Yes, it's official.
he is interested in hosting some of the APAN meeting in 2025.
APAN 59.
Yeah, and but he preferred that he will collocate that with supercomputing Asia. So that should be maybe March or February. I don't know whether we can shift, for Japan, whether we can shift our meeting in August or, later, because, 25 is actually the year of the big exposition, the world exposition in Japan. So I think, everything gets higher. So it's still negotiating, but just for information.
Okay. So shift it to 26. 2026. Japan prefers February, right? Or is August okay?
Yeah, maybe, we replace C and D or something, but yeah, so we may talk about that.
Okay, sure.
The 30th anniversary of APAN.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right, so these are the materials. Anything else you would like to discuss about? Rachel?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Liana, can you hear me?
Okay, Gopal Sensei. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Liana, I just want to announce that probably this is going to be my last APAN meeting because I have been assigned some other activity in Government of India. So I would like to say thanks to everyone, to all the directors, to Marcus, to you, to Secretariat, and to all the advisors. So just want to say thanks to everyone. Thank you.
For all activities. Hope to see you.
Ranjan, this is Shigeki Goto. We all thank you for your great contribution to APAN activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Goto. Thank you so much.
Something? Thank you. Something you have contributions and ideas.
What are you asking him?
Stay.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm not able to hear anything.
Can you hear us?
What is happening?
Yeah, Liana, you can go ahead. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Yeah.
They can't hear. They can hear. So I just correction is not still. Oh.
Any other business?
Is there any official document to how to make the working groups, how to make the export, and how to when we the working group is missed, this kind of the guidance we have. This is very helpful to the audience. Yeah. If
got some guidelines in the House rules. We don't have the guidelines for the task force. So
the task force, I mean, there is a bit of a guideline on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is.
But we'll update the House rules.
Yes, that's one of the major activities that we need to do. Any other business? Perform? How's Dr. Swami? Anything so we can use?
Hello, yes. Sorry.
Okay, can you use?
No.
Who's the answer?
We're almost at the end of the meeting. Perform, is there anything you'd like to say?
No, thank you. Nothing to say.
No, not yet. Okay, so everybody, I think at the beginning, yes. So since I think 2019, yes, I'm very lucky elected APAN chair, and I want to do something for APAN. Yeah, and always I have such ideas, and I think for APAN, the most important to get funding, right? And I still remember I used to talk to Goto-san. So Goto-san, are you still online? Yeah. So do you remember I used to discuss with you for APAN funding, yeah, from some support, and so unlucky for an epidemic. So for several years, and the international collaboration is not very active. So it's very hard, and I also very about that. Very sorry about that. But what's lucky is I finally make it at the last minute. So just last month. So last month, because I tried many different governments and organizations. So and the last month, I make it. So and I have get a promise. So in Chinese, and I have a stamp document to promise for APAN. In China, the stamp is more formal than signature. Yes, and they promise. I think is very attractive. More than $1 million a year, and 3,000 kilometer office. Although I don't think we need so large, so big office. Yes, but yes. Yeah, and that's it. It's and a stamp, and it's a government. So government stamp is very formal. So I think I get this promise. I think it may be very important for APAN and in the future. Yeah, because if we have $1 million a year, I think everything will be different. So many things we want to do, but we can't. Now maybe more easy become to come into effect. So that's it. The last gift left for APAN. So, thank you.
Congratulations.
For how many years? 1 year today for how long? 5 years. Oh, good. Wow.
So I think that maybe it's enough for APAN to get the because if we have result, we can provide more service. And once we have more services, that will be more power international and be more easy to get the additional. So I think that's the first.
Thank you so much, Papa. We've got a message from Benjamin.
But it's your friend.
I don't know. I think that's on the new plan because history.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question about the election for the board? I think you mentioned that there's 6. Yeah. But how many actually we are looking for? Also 7, right? Or 6?
We had 8.
Or 8?
We had 8, but
Example, how many positions they were.
yeah, 9. Total 9, and we had 2 we're not retiring yet. So total 7.
7.
And we received 7.
Okay.
Election. Everyone is elected in. We've got a message from Ranjan. Hi everyone, it's time for me to say goodbye to the community. I have assigned some other activities in the ministry. I'm grateful to everyone who is doing each one of you. I want to give a huge thanks to all the directors, Marcus, Lana, Secretary, and all the officers. I'm sad to say goodbye to all of you. I'm glad joining the whole event, but now it's time for me to devote my time to social activities of government and thanks again. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much for all your contributions. Okay, so we conclude the meeting. Thank you. See you all at the council meeting.